Welcome to our next episode of the World's Beautiful Game podcast. As we sit one day before the U.S. men's national team takes on Belgium, I'm excited, but that's not going to be what we talk about today. Today's an episode to speak about the EPL, FA Cup, some big games, some terrible games for some of the big names. Let's just say London had a bad week this week, right, Will?
Yeah, I guess I think they probably would have preferred a better day, but they kind of looked like, yeah, they look like the Champions League for the English teams. So,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that's
sore
yeah.
subject for them.
Or like
I mean,
Colombia, or they look like Colombia did yesterday
I
and
mean, not, I mean, we can't
trampled
really
on.
say much because our team is not in the Champions League, right? But as United fans, it's been several years of pain. But these English teams are definitely feeling the heat of those better clubs around the world. It's crazy to say, right? Because the best league in the world is the EPL, best league in the world at this point. I don't know if that's accurate, but definitely most competitive. But we are shifting our talk today from the international game. We're gonna go, talk about the chaos that reigns supreme with the weekend in the Premier League, and the Tyne-Wear Derby, that Sunderland Newcastle game. That's a crazy game. It was intense. I am shocked at the result a little bit because I thought Newcastle was going to have a bounce back game after that shellacking they got from Barcelona. Another that was a surprising result also as well. But yeah, those clubs in London, like I said, it was a little bit wild. I mentioned this to you before when we were kind of talking about this episode that it felt like Musa Dembele was back as coach for Chelsea, because that's what Liam Mousinho looks like, trying to get back at them as a Chelsea rival, which is it's hilarious to me because he kind of really does look like him.
Well, it is.
That guy was really good,
He's
but
done his
yeah,
best to represent Tottenham,
Tottenham. Oh
except for
yeah,
Chelsea,
absolutely.
because
It's kind of hilarious, and obviously let's not forget about the mighty Arsenal, who had a interesting final against City. But we'll talk about that a little. That'll be kind of to the end of the episode. But there goes their chance at that quadruple that all those Arsenal TV fans like to talk about. So let's not misconstrue, by the way, that my talk about Arsenal is not me wanting City to win, because that is the worst thing in the world. I
yeah.
want both of those teams to lose and not win anything. But at this point, the conversation around Arsenal fans and how much they think that this is the best team to ever exist since sliced bread. But we'll talk about all that. So let's get started. I know, Will, you watched way more of the games than I did. I tried to get the recap of some of them. It was a crazy week. I know the one thing I did want to mention was that I am getting my ass handed to me in Premier League fantasy. I had a good start, and now I'm like way behind. It's close in our league. We actually have a pretty competitive league. Have you seen where we're at compared to like other leagues? Like our group of people, if you look at where we're at, we're actually pretty decent. So
Yeah, I mean, I've done my best to come back because I was pretty much in last place, so I've been climbing steadily. So it looks like I finally made some changes that have helped me out and yeah, keep me from being the bottom of the run. So definitely don't want to be the loser of losers.
I'm
So
just glad we don't have a last place punishment like some
like
people do.
A
Yeah,
Shiva
no,
Bowl.
I don't
Yeah,
want nothing to do
yeah,
with that. I'm okay. If I lose money, I lose money. I'm trying to get into those top
yeah.
three spots to get some money back. So it's
That'd
been
be
a rough
nice.
go the last like 2 months for me. I haven't won a single week in the last couple.
Yeah,
I had some close ones, but that's about it.
yeah. So I mean, those definitely make choices which make it hard for you to kind of sometimes cheer against teams that you don't like, but that's the nature of the beast.
I will say, finally though, the Man United choices I have are actually giving me points. And we'll segue that into the first game of the weekend, which was on that Friday, where United got robbed, I want to say. And I know it's kind of touchy, but the Maguire was a penalty. I am not going to ever say that that's not a pen, but if you call that one, you got to call the other one, and they didn't give us that opportunity to have the same spot. I thought I saw that the ref for that game kind of got a fine suspension, but it kind of sucks now after the fact because 2 points lost for us. We got a point, which is great, but still, We're trying to stay ahead in that Champions League spot. So I think the result would have been better with the other 2 points. A point still good, but what do you think?
Yeah, it was a good game. I think United was attacking well, and I think they even before the PK, it took I think a little too long for them to score because they were attacking a good amount, and they probably should have tried to pressure a little more, or at least take a couple of more shots to get ahead of the game sooner, and that would have helped them. But um, yeah, that no Ahmad PK, which then led to the goal. It wasn't even so much that they didn't call the PK, but then that right then around.
The FIFA effect.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think as professionals, either ways, everybody stops because they want the call. But until the ref blows the whistle, and they obviously are professionals and know what they're doing, so the fact that they stop to wait for a call is, I think, part of just today's game's issue that they're going to wait and then expect a call because to them it was a clear penalty. But at the end of the day, again, until you hear the whistle, you don't stop, and that clearly led to the penalty for them to score, for Bournemouth to come back, and then yeah, we got what we got. Towards the end, obviously, Maguire celebrating like crazy the own goal, which wasn't his goal, but hey, I mean, obviously he was closest to it.
I think yeah, he's just
Yeah.
he's just like it's
Hey,
a goal.
whatever,
It don't
man.
matter.
Hey, it is what it is. And then yeah, that it was a dumb PK. I think he's a very experienced, obviously, center back. He's been through a lot, and he's a quality center back. Everybody gave him a lot of shit for it, but he ultimately he's solid and definitely he's needed. But that was a very dumb PK with for his experience. Do I think it was a red? I don't think so. I think it was a yellow, but
It
either
is.
ways,
He did deny a goal. It's not that the foul wasn't a red. The
denying
foul
goal
wasn't a
scoring.
red. He just
Yeah.
denied the goal scoring opportunity. So that's why it's a red, and that's fine. Again, I understand. Like I get it. We've gotten that call before. It makes sense in that situation.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how if you go to VAR because the VAR checks every goal like that initiated from the foul on the other side of the field. It was pretty quick. It's not like they had to go back and check 10 minutes to see for a foul. So I think that's the only thing that kind of got me. But whatever, we move on. Um, Speaking
Yeah.
of that, and then we move on to the next game, Liverpool. Uh,
Brighton. Yeah.
the Liverpool Brighton one. I loved seeing the result, not just because Liverpool lost, but Danny Welbeck
Seeing a
with two
United boy,
goals.
yeah,
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 he
puts him at
coming.
12 goals
My,
for the league.
my man needs to get called up to be England striker beside Harry Kane. Man, like he looks so like it.
Wow,
It's incredible to me because he's not even. I think he's in like his
35,
yeah.
30,
Is it
35,
30,
36,
35?
somewhere around there. Yeah.
But because he's been injured so much, it feels like he's kind of refreshed and he has that like that fresh legs still kind of. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's what it feels like with him
Oh,
when he
12
gets a chance
goals.
to play.
12 goals in
Um,
the season is not bad, and I know I mean, he's a United killer because he always scores against
oh,
us,
I
even as
know.
a former United boy. I mean, United Academy and everything. So I think it was always a mistake to let him go because he's still in the league, and we have somebody growing, but the experience that he has and he's gained, and obviously in the league, and look at him, he's obviously for Brighton scored. I mean, and Brighton, obviously, they from the season before, or since they sold Cucurella, when all those guys were around there, and they sold their guys, they're tough to keep up.
That's
But
but if that's been United in the last what 5 6 years. Like we just
mhm,
because of all the craziness, we keep selling players that probably shouldn't sell. I think
mhm.
the one thing that I've found with some of this is that we're gonna go into a season next year that if we are in Champions League, we're not deep at all. Like
No.
I think we have two players off the bench, possibly three. And then what? I think they say they're offering Maguire an extension, and Casemiro. It looks like they're offering him an extension for a year. But still, anyway, a common theme for United, right? To lose out or to get rid of players that maybe would have still had an impact on the team. But Welbeck's been gone for a while, so I don't know about that one. But still, happy to see Liverpool lose. Like champions coming off a season where Slot. I don't know how he's not fired yet. He's getting so much leeway. I think at this point, are they still in? They're still in Champions League, correct? It's
Oh,
them and Arsenal. Liverpool and Arsenal are the last two left from the English Premier League. Champions
yeah,
League. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure
yeah,
because
yeah, because they beat Galatasaray.
Arsenal has Sporting, and then Liverpool has who do they have?
Uh,
I don't know. I gotta look. But anyway, those are the last two standing for
yeah,
Premier League that are in the Champions League, and it's we assume that they would have 5 for Champions League next year based on how it went, but we will see how that goes next year after the results of last week. For me, pissed off about Katike. I had him on my fantasy, went down after 8 minutes, and now he's scoring goals for France. He had a dead fucking leg is why he came off the game.
That's because he's trying to make his case to play for the French national team for the World Cup. Obviously, they played against.
That was my captain's pick, bro.
They played against Brazil and they took care of business.
Wasted my damn.
I guess he wasn't dumb. I mean, but it wasn't even. Well, obviously he obviously came off early, but for one, Liverpool with the terrible defensive pass to lead to that goal.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that was just dumb. And then just Welbeck, and then I don't know if you saw Gomez's. He had a free kick that was almost quality, but that would have just pushed them down even more. But a 2-1 score against Liverpool, hey, our rivals, I'll take it. So
and it just keeps them further away from us in the Champions League spot. So I'm
finally getting back to being able to compete. So
and then we'll move on to one of the London games where Everton beat the shit out of Chelsea. 3-0, incredible. I will just preface this. David Moyes with Everton, that connection, what he does but they don't have.
No, I understand. I mean, I'm not taking away from them, but Chelsea beat themselves. Sanchez was.
Well, this is your favorite topic, so I'll let you go off.
Yeah, Sanchez just looks like Victor Valdez pre-Premier League. He looks like Dida, Butterfingers. He just looked lost. He just didn't know what he was doing. And on the other side, you have Pickford making saves of the season, which is just making him look even more embarrassing. It's just terrible decisions by Sanchez. And the problem as a goalkeeper is, okay, you make a mistake and it's a goal, because obviously you can't. Everybody else in the field can make a mistake, and it's okay. But a goalkeeper makes a mistake and it's a goal. And the problem with goalkeepers, especially when you're at this level, you got to shake it off. Like, he makes the first mistake, and then it's like he's still it's in his head and he won't let it go, and then he makes another mistake. And I do
think with him specifically, though, he's had a weird last few weeks because he got kind of pulled out. He didn't play in the Champions League, then he came back and I hear you. I mean, as a professional, I would imagine that they should always they got to be prepared for the worst and just always be ready. But you got to think some of that comes into play, right? Mentally, like as a goal, you play goalie. It kind of sucks when you get benched and you don't play, and then you're asked to come back and you're still trying to shake off whatever that was. So
but no, for me as a goalkeeper, that's the thing that when you come on after you've been benched, when you come on, you can't think about it, because the difference is a defender could come on and play bad. He'll get another chance. Because if a defender goes down, cool. Midfielder, a forward, there's always opportunity. A goalkeeper, for him to get hurt is a rare opportunity. So if you come back to pretty much show what you got and show that you are the starter, and then you can't do that, then that's not good. You have to be the mentally strongest person on that field, because, again, you make a mistake, they blame it on you. If you let's say, again, there's a breakaway and you're going to try to pretty much put the forward through, but you throw it bad or something, then they're going to be like, oh, the goalkeeper can. Any little thing that a goalkeeper does is, I feel, 10 times worse, because they're going to look at
Kepa?
you. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Kepa got rid of, So I think it's just look at Onana. I mean, just look at the end, by the way. Just look at Onana at the end of the day. Obviously, look at any mistake he has, and obviously, and everybody's going to talk about him for the rest of their life. We could talk, pretty much De Gea has been forgotten about, because he's obviously pretty much one of our greats, in the sense that nobody talks about him anymore, because the last guy you want to talk about is Onana, because of how terrible he was, and
he's also
now
we've got the Italian league, which is
Well, but what I mean to say is, obviously we got a good goalkeeper now, but the other one was so bad, and he made any mistake he'd make is obviously it makes your defense shaky. They have no confidence, and then at that point they can't play progressively and confidently forward. So that's why to me it's very important for Chelsea that he picks it up, because at the end of the day, if he's going to be shaky, then the defense is going to feel like they have to do extra work, and then that's just going to change the whole chemistry of the team, and ultimately they're not going to flow as well.
Fun fact, I had Sanchez at the beginning of the season in my fantasy team, and after like 5-6 games, I was like, I think I'm going to change it now.
Yeah.
hell of a change that I made.
Yeah.
I got Dean
So
Henderson after that. So I mean, he's been
yeah.
shaky too, but
But,
I've kind of been swapping out between him and Brighton's keeper. But
but yeah,
that's
just I
worse.
mean before we switch off, but yeah, Beto had definitely a quality game, and so did Pickford making beautiful saves again. So on the other end, good goalkeeping. Pickford just likes to make highlight reels. So
And
that's pretty cool.
that's why he has no challenge in the national team. That's why Pickford is always the number one, right? Because who like besides Dean Henderson maybe, but even then, like he's the one that like he steps up. He looks good when he
Pope,
plays.
I think Pope was hurt again. So I mean,
Yeah,
he plays pretty solid, and he gets hurt. So
yeah. I think he's had some bad games though. Like even
yeah,
and that technically that defense for Newcastle's solid. So I don't like when he's back there, he still makes mistakes. So
yeah.
I
No,
feel
I
like
mean, Pickford's definitely the
Pickford has always
go-to,
been
and
clear,
yeah, yeah.
which is crazy because there's so many English keepers, I think, at this point. But
Um,
interesting. All right, so we'll
yeah.
move on to the next one. I think the Villa West Ham is where we have a 2-0. Villa
Another
keeping pace with yes, another London club going down.
no, another United
Oh,
team, another United player actually playing well. It just pisses me off. But anyways, I digress.
who Central?
Sancho had an assist. Yes.
I mean, but he's very spotty. That's no big deal. But I thought it was interesting though. West Ham's been having a quite a like because they're in the relegation battle. They've turned it around and really having some decent games. I know that at some point they gave United a game, and they've been getting results. So interesting. Villa needed the results because obviously they're chasing United now for third, or at least to stay in that Champions League spot because those this is at 3 or 4 spots that are like it's points of 3, 4, 5, 6 points apart. So how did you see Villa play that game out?
Um, Pretty much Villa attacked a lot that whole game, so I feel like they were pretty much pushing it. They looked like the better team the whole game. Um, the pretty much they even had a PK. It was almost it was called off, so that was there. Yeah, I just felt like pretty much overall it wasn't as close as I thought it was going to be because Villa was just bringing it to them. So West Ham, I think, could have had a better game. They just didn't look their best. So,
Yeah, I
it
mean
happens.
it sucks for them because they're in that relegation battle and they need the points bad. So that was a tough
Yeah.
loss for again another London team. And then next up, probably the team that's having the worst luck is they've been piling on from last season to now. Tottenham just losing badly to Nottingham Forest. Is this the game that Gibbs White had that golazo? Or am I thinking of a different game?
No, no, it's just pretty much the Spurs are just disbanded. I mean, Nottingham just kind of put on a clinic on them. Um,
This was a bad
but
one too because Nottingham Forest just leapfrogged Tottenham for that
yeah,
those spots in the
I
bottom,
mean,
which is I still can't believe that they just I just saw that they're gonna get rid of Igor and
mm,
some other guys coming in whose name is almost like the World War II bad guy. I don't know if you've seen that, but they were talking about how that's going to be a very interesting for the commentators to talk about when they talk about his Aduf.
oh,
It's interesting.
yeah, take a
Anyway,
look at that. I didn't realize that.
yeah, I just saw that
But
yesterday. I was like,
again, shout out to the keepers again because Sells was denying Tottenham left and right, so he
Sells is
had
a
a great
backup
game.
for Belgium, right?
Yeah, so he had
Yeah.
a great
You
game.
think does he start or Sonny Lemon start? You think for Belgium against the U.S. tomorrow?
I think Lemon
'Cause
starts.
Sells is pretty
They pretty
good.
much, yeah. They want to see, I guess, Lemons has had the hot hand of the season, so I think he starts. But I think it'll be up for
Was
debate.
was
But I mean,
was
at the end of the day, it doesn't make a difference because
Was Lemons a starter prior
Courtois,
to his
it
being at
doesn't
United?
matter. Courtois is going to be the starter. So
Oh, I forgot that he wasn't there because he was injured. That's why I was thinking
yeah,
about.
he's back, and
Okay,
it's
he's
just
back
pretty
now.
much testing him out. Those will be the three keepers in my mind, but it's going to be Courtois. So
Okay,
which
yeah, my bad. Never mind. Yeah, he's
pretty
not going to
much,
see the light of day there.
nope.
Cool. All right. So
Yep. But
this
as
is
Tottenham, there's not really much to talk about because I think
no, it's
they,
really not. It's just embarrassing and sad to be honest at this
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
And what did I have here next? Oh yeah,
I had the rivalry. Hmm.
the which one? Remind me again because I think I lost it here. The
Oh,
thing I have
actually, I
less
don't think.
is the final to talk
Oh
about
no, yeah.
between Arsenal and City.
No, I
Um,
gotta give a shout out to Newcastle versus Sunderland because that's a rivalry
oh,
there.
that's the one that I meant to talk about.
And
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
that game
So
was intense. I was actually listening to the podcast with Alan Smith, not Alan Smith. Oh my god, with Michael Richards, Gary Lineker, and Alan Shearer. Wow. Anyway, so he was, because he's obviously a big Newcastle guy, and he was so upset. He's like, I can't believe they played like shit.
Hey,
Like,
Lewis Hall put in a quality service in the whole game. I was watching, and he was on point. Um, but yeah, the dumb offside goal for Newcastle, that was just a dumb goal too. They just made a couple little mistakes, and Sunderland was just on top of them.
are
And
you surprised that they had a game like they did after what happened against Barcelona at home? I mean, my assumption was they were going to come back and just pummel the next team, because you would think you would come back with a vengeance, wanting to kind of after what happened.
so that's usually what you think is going to happen, but then you forget that these other teams also say, "Hey, we just saw them get a beat down, so we're going to take advantage and we're gonna attack them early and kind of get them off of their game and keep them mentally out of it." And I think that's what Sunderland did, because Sunderland, they just looked good. They looked good enough.
I mean,
Um,
Sunderland's been surprising this season, coming up and staying like to me, the only team that's kind of been struggling bad and is probably not going to get out of that bottom, is going to be Leeds. I think Leeds is going to have a hard time. They haven't gotten results. They can't figure it out. I feel bad because I like their coach, and obviously I like the Aronson plays there too, but they are having they can't score goals, man. Like, I think I saw like the last 8 games. I think that's a stat, and if I'm wrong,
0-0.
sorry.
Yeah, I
They
watched.
just
No, I watched the highlights. Yeah, it's a 0-0 game. It was quiet. There wasn't really much. There wasn't. I mean, just from both Brentford and Leeds, they were both quiet. They were just kind of playing,
but
holding
Brentford,
hands.
yeah, but Brentford is surprising because they've been really good this season. Also,
Yeah, but they just held
they're
hands the whole
they're
game,
mid
and
table.
it was
Well,
boring. Like,
I think it's hard. Well, let me not say that.
But
I
for
think
me, again, if you're getting
Brentford is
relegated,
interesting because they're in the middle, so they don't care. But Leeds needs to do more.
that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. So at this point, you need to be more aggressive. You need to go
like
ahead,
you
go for
shouldn't
it.
even
What are you
worry
gonna
about
do?
losing because you need to just get points. Yeah, so go
Let's see.
for it. Yeah,
Table.
you
Yeah, at
can't
this point,
can't
I
get points
mean,
if you don't score, right? Or
Leeds is in 15, so they're still not in
but it's
relegation battle.
close.
Well,
It's close there.
Spurs are closer in a relegation battle. They're in 17th place, so a point off from 18th. So Spurs are actually. I mean, Brentford's in seventh, so they're a much higher place. So for
That's
the
what.
fact that Leeds held them off to
But that's been
0-0,
Leeds.
but
That's been Leeds all season. Leeds all
yeah,
season has literally like they've had games where they're in it and then they just fuck it up at
yeah.
the end. And then there's games where I think they've had a lead and they give it up. And they've shot themselves in the foot. Uh, I think they still need like quite a bit of points in these last 7 games to stay up, because I think like the safe zone is like 42 points or some weird number, where it's
Yeah.
like guaranteed that you stay up. But they're a
Mhm.
surprising one to me. But let's see. I love the end of the season because this is when like thing gets things get
That's
really
when
heated
it's
in the Premier League.
yeah.
Like the bottom teams, like Wolves is like just messing with everyone, which is
Yeah.
hilarious. So
That's when it's a bad time to bet
so when you
because
look at the schedules, it's hilarious to me because like none of the games don't matter. They all matter. Even for Arsenal, like Arsenal, I looked at their schedule. I think the hardest game they have is City. That's the big one for them. And if they win out all the other ones and still lose to City, they can still win the league, no problem. But it's if those, I think they don't even have games. They have one or two, I think, against one of the bottom teams, and then the rest are all like mid-table teams. So it's like,
but it's probably worse to play against the bottom teams because the bottom teams will be
oh, I
fighting out of
know.
their life. So especially towards the end, there's 30. Well, City has a game in hand, so actually City, if they win, they're only 6 points behind, which is
And
only
then
obviously
if
two
they
games.
beat them in
So
that game,
yeah,
that's three
that's
points
3 points,
behind.
and that's
And
all.
then
Yeah,
it's if Arsenal drop
and then
points,
it's
then but
Arsenal being
still
Arsenal.
Arsenal's to
Yeah,
lose, right? Arsenal
yeah, yeah.
has
Just like
they
the last.
control all of it. So
hmm So
I have called it
yeah,
though. I said, but November, I started saying that they're already started to bottle the season.
yeah.
Um, and then they still FA Cup. I think they're in the semifinal, but they have the easiest draw. They have Port Vale, right? I believe so. Easy should get to the final,
Yeah.
no problem. But is that City still in that one, or did they get knocked out of that one?
I
I
haven't
can't
been
remember.
keeping.
Anyway, if
I
they
haven't been
see,
watching cups.
I don't think City's in that one. I think they're out also. But
Let's
so
take a look.
that's almost a guarantee for them if they can hold off. But at this point, they're still in Champions League. They're still in the FA Cup, and they're still in the Premier League. They need to get all the results. Do you think they fall? It's a lot because I think they're one injury away. They're Declan Rice or Gabriel injury away from losing all of it. Like that's how bad their season is on the line to me.
Well, they have.
And it's not like I don't even say this from a hate perspective. Like just some real shit. They're one bad injury away because when they lost Saka for a while, he hasn't come back. Like he's playing, but he's been mediocre. Like and without goals and without that guy in the middle, or those two guys in the middle to really protect you, they're going to have a hard time if that happens in these next 7 games. The international break is going to be interesting because Declan Rice is going to play for England. Gabriel is going to play for Brazil. What happens between now and the end of the season, do you think, for Arsenal?
I mean, right now, yeah, they got Southampton. That's who they got in the FA Cup.
Oh, Southampton, sorry.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's Chelsea. So Chelsea's got the easy one. Well, I don't want to say easy because, again, you never know those teams. You know, hopefully they show up. But I don't think they win all 3. I don't think they win 3. They're definitely not getting a treble. It's not the treble, but they're not getting a treble. I don't see them winning Champions League. That's going to be too tough. Honestly, their biggest focus should be the Premier League. It's been too long for them to not win the Premier League. So I think realistically, I don't think they have a Champions League shot to win. So I would say obviously focus on the FA Cup and at least I think they win 2 of what they got their last 3. I just don't the Champions League. I just don't see again English teams being strong. I mean, Liverpool left and Arsenal left. I don't see them winning it. But obviously things could change. That's just me. I feel like Arsenal doesn't win it. Yeah, if they do get a major injury from one of their main players.
Do you think they have the squad depth? Do you think they have enough? To that's 3 competitions that they're going to be playing games for back to back to back. Every week is 2 games for them.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why I don't see them winning 3. I could see them winning 2 at most. But even the FA Cup is going to be tough because the teams that are going to go in it, they're going to fight because it's pretty much their only opportunity to win anything. The teams that are left. So,
who's left? Did you look?
Yeah, I just saw.
So City, Liverpool.
Yeah.
Chelsea, Port Vale, West Ham, Leeds. That
West
doesn't
Ham
matter.
Leeds, yeah. So
City and Liverpool still in it too. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those 2. I mean, out of there, I think that's the winner of the FA Cup right there.
And you know what's incredible about that is you're talking about teams that need trophies. Liverpool needs something to be successful from. So they're not going to win the league. They're trying to get up to a Champions League spot. So they're going to want to win that trophy, right? They want the FA Cup. City, who knows? But it's a good opportunity if they wind up in the final against Arsenal to do some more damage.
Get something back, yeah.
They were talking about this a little bit. We were talking about it on our group chat too, a little bit. How much do you think there's any play of like mentality, psyche, losing the City that final, and then they have to play them again in a big game in the league, possibly seeing them again in the FA Cup? You think any of that actually is going to play a part in what happens with them?
Yeah, I mean, if they see that City are pretty much going to, if they make it through, then I think it's definitely going to be in their head. Obviously, that they're gonna naturally try to approach it, figure out tactically what to do. Obviously, Arteta versus Pep, so it's going to be a showdown and see who kind of at this point. And City have nothing to lose, so the only thing that they can do is deflate them. I don't know if they play, well, obviously the FA Cup, they're going to play, and if they make it through, then at this point I don't know if they were to, but it'd be the final. So I don't think they see them in the Premier League before the final of the FA Cup. So if they beat them during the league, then if they do see them,
I believe
for the FA Cup final, if they both make it through, those are the 2 sides, because I think they're on the opposite side. So it would be.
I believe what happens is the FA Cup final would be, if they both make it, would be towards the end of the league season. So I think they would play the game in the league first, and then they would play the final.
So
so that's how it plays.
So I mean, either way, if they play them in the league, they're going to play in the league first, and they beat them, then that just kind of gives them an even a bigger advantage for the FA Cup final. And then at this point, now Arsenal's pretty much kind of now I would say they're really nervous and they're pretty much going to say, hey, we got to figure it out. We got to see how we can beat them, how we can shake this off. And at this point, mentally, yes, do they get nervous enough? I think at this point, Arsenal finally have players with the experience and enough time because what a couple seasons ago, not too long ago, they had a massive lead again and they imploded, but I believe the players were a lot younger and they just probably got nervous and they didn't have the capability to pretty much to kind of push through till the end. But now the same guys, pretty much, the team hasn't changed too much. So I think they have enough experience to be able to hold out and finally win the league. So I think they win the league. Even barring serious injury, now like you said, the depth between all those games and how they're going to rotate
It's a lot.
it.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is. So
I don't think they've never been in this position. I don't think because I think even last season, when they were in this run, I think they were already out of Champions League, so I don't think it mattered. Maybe FA Cup, I believe, but they didn't get that either. So it's interesting to me. I don't. It's funny. It's funny because of their fans. It really is what it comes down to. Sad a little bit because like they need a trophy. It's at this point it's sad. Like United's gotten more trophies than them in this time, and we've been terrible.
Their fans are as delusional as I'm sorry to say it, England fans, but as you guys because it's always coming home, and we've been waiting for it to come home.
Hey, we got to start this coming home chant. Starting tomorrow. So 77 days to the World Cup. It's crazy. I one other question. I have two questions, but let's see. I don't know. If
I did want to before also shout out because there's a last game that was we didn't talk about was Burnley Fulham. I did watch that, which was a back and forth game, which Fulham 3-1. Again, goalkeepers had looked like Leno had quality saves in that game. And I don't know if you saw the PK for Jimenez, his weird PK.
I don't even want to go there. So I have such a problem with that run up. I don't understand how it's legal because they all stop. They never have forward momentum. Like it makes no sense to name.
Yeah, because if it says forward momentum, I mean a hop is still not backwards momentum, and it's still.
But to me, it looks like they stop. Like they
but
do the
technically,
little,
I guess the hop, but the
like it's
forward,
so
back, forward.
I'm
back,
okay with the hop because the hop there's in motion. Like you don't stop, right?
Forward back is not forward momentum. So
but when
I don't understand.
When you go, you do a little hezzy, and like it looks like you stop, and like that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so,
that
was that game. Fulham 3-1.
And I'll give him a pass because he's mourning his dad who passed away a week ago. So. Whatever. Anyway, I like Fulham. We've always liked Fulham because Dempsey and hey, everybody watch out that Deuce documentary on Paramount. I need to watch it. I know it's coming up. I don't think it's out yet, but I am looking forward to that one.
There's a Ronaldinho one coming out too. So
I gotta watch that too.
It's my goat.
So I had two questions. My first one is if they don't win a trophy this year, is Arteta in trouble? Because that's crazy. Bottle another year, no trophies. If they wind up in that, because like they're serious risk of losing all of it. Like, but at what point? Yeah, but Arsene Wenger built Arsenal, right? He made them money. Arteta's not making them money. He's buying players expensively and building what?
I mean, at this point,
have a base.
The loyalty to managers. I don't think is there anymore. I mean, I think they've given him more than enough opportunities.
That's why I'm asking the question.
Unless he becomes the next Simeone. Simeone's been coaching Atletico
but he's won a league.
45 years.
He's won a league.
Yeah. But again, in his 60 years of coaching.
But he's fighting Real Madrid and Barcelona every season.
But either way, I mean, he's still okay. And Arteta's fighting City, Chelsea when they're not doing whatever the hell they are doing now. Can't even say United because United in the last few years haven't been well. But there's been teams, Brentford, any Nottingham Forest that have been pretty much up there. So Arsenal have been fighting a pretty strong league all around. But
so you don't think he's in trouble even if he doesn't get anything?
I think if he doesn't win a single trophy, FA Cup, I think he'd have to be in trouble because at this point you got 3 opportunities to win something. If you win something, at least the owners can be like, all right, we'll hang on to this.
The reason I say it is because Luis Enrique, I know he has a year left in his contract, and everybody's talking about him. He doesn't seem to want to stay at PSG. Like that's I think if anyone's going to go for a manager like that is Arsenal, because Arsenal needs a coach that will get those players to win. Like he can get those players to win, right? That's just my.
I mean, personally for me, I would have gotten rid of him already because how many seasons has it been already?
This is going to be they've already bottled 3 seasons.
How long has he been with the team?
Like 6 years, 7 years now.
Exactly.
It's been a while,
So at this point, the
he left
rebuild,
City.
there's no more rebuild. So you're way beyond 6 years is way beyond rebuilding because they're not rebuilding. They already have a team and they just keep adding options. So I personally say I think it's time.
I have one more question, and it's related to Arsenal, and that's why I'm asking. But I'm glad that you think. They think he's a god, and I'm like, you need something, right? Like you have to.
At this point, yeah, there's no more excuses to be like, well, we're building, we're waiting. No, you're one of the top teams in the league, so you're not showing that because
shout out to our Arsenal friends in our group chat who are delusional still as well. Quietly delusional. They won't say. They're not like the Arsenal TV fans.
Last season it was worse. Well, we had I won't name one
quiet.
of our bros, but he was loud.
You talking about the CNC?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, he was very loud about saying he's like, that's it, they're winning the league, and he was very loud about it, like halfway, I think, through the season, and then slowly just, we're still winning, and then.
So the one last question I have, and it has Arsenal ties to is what do you think about their style of play, right? That they're winning games, and that's the most important thing. And I think if anyone was a fan of that team, that we're not talking about Arsenal, it's just the team that's winning in the way that they do. As a neutral, you hate it because they don't play nice soccer or football. And then as an opponent to them, like it's so annoying to watch that be what beats you. Like just, and I'm not even gonna go WWE wrestling. Like it's just like ugly and just like everything and anything but soccer. They're not scoring goals like in a way that you learn to play the game, right? Like you have this idea of what the game is.
Well, we pretty much gotta brush off what the game used to be and how it used to be played, because remember, there's no more beautiful football. The beautiful game is gone. Now it's just more, again, like super tactic, play it super simple, no creativity, no danger, no pushing the envelope to see. There's no one-on-ones, there's no volleys, there's barely, anything, there's no art in it anymore. Now it's pure just tactics and who's can out tactic who, play it simple, don't play anything special. The last, Neymar to me was probably the last
I gotta ask
beautifully gifted player that
you're teeing me up for a great question, by the way.
So I just want to say, like, that's there's players that have the skill. Vinicius has it, but he doesn't do it.
So does it matter that they're winning the way they're winning? Like,
unfortunately, that doesn't. At the end of the day, it's the result. It doesn't matter if it looks pretty or not, right?
For business,
exactly. If you want the wins, or people have gotten used to over the last year. So at this point, we got to stop. We kind of got to, we're like those old heads now. It's like we got to get rid of the past and stop thinking about it because, Ronaldinho's gone.
Don't call me old, bro. Don't call me old.
All those guys that we grew up watching that used to, Wayne Rooney's, bicycle kick. Obviously, we saw Garnacho not too long ago, and we saw a few of them do it.
Please don't mention that.
Yes, I know. But, we've seen a few here and there, but there's no more.
I'm glad you brought up Wayne Rooney and Neymar. I know you saw that question get asked to Wayne Rooney.
Between who? Well, yeah. And
he said,
yeah.
I don't rate Neymar. Is what Rooney said.
I think that's excessive. I definitely rate Neymar. Neymar is the prince who never became king because he absolutely
Took a
And
back
if you
seat.
watch his clips, no, not just that took a back seat, but if you watch him and if you watched him play and then you watch his clips from Santos going all the way up, he was just his brilliant mind, beautifully play. He was absolutely everything that you wanted. He was the next Ronaldinho, but just Brazilians, they love to party. They love that football isn't a priority for them. Partying is, and then they're just naturally gifted and they're good. And he just never wanted to take that throne because he should have easily been. He would have been better than Rooney, but I don't think he is. I
Who do you think
I
is better,
wouldn't
Rooney
say
or Neymar?
I wouldn't say I can. I wouldn't say that he's not rateable because he absolutely is. But I take Rooney because of the longevity, because of what he did, his accolades, and everything that
But
Rooney
who is
actually.
better in soccer, like soccer wise? Who is better at their position? Because Rooney,
Yeah, Rooney. Well, yeah, because different positions, but Rooney was clinical.
all around, the better player
Rooney was
all over the field is
when you
Rooney.
needed
But the
him.
the better soccer player is Neymar. Let's be clear. Like we're
Well,
United fans, but Neymar is definitely a better player than
as
Rooney.
far as technically gifted, absolutely, because Rooney didn't need to do what he did, but the work ethic, the pretty much the
Yeah, I mean
mentality,
that's
but
it's the
remember
Messi
Rooney didn't
Ronaldo.
give up.
It's the Messi Ronaldo conversation, right?
No, two different, completely
But no,
different.
but you're
Because the
talking about
difference is,
hard work
yes, hard work
and
and the
just
natural.
talent.
No, but the difference is, um, Rooney he worked hard naturally, but he had the talent too. As far as a
Yeah,
goal
he has
scorer,
both. I would
as a
give you
goal
that.
scorer, I would
I
pretty
know
much,
I love Rooney.
no,
I
I know,
just
I'm
thought that was
saying,
a
but
really
I
strange
don't think,
conversation.
yeah, I don't think, like again, you can't rate them side by side because obviously different
Different
positions.
players, yeah.
But yeah, Neymar absolutely technically and
I was
gifted,
just
and the vision because he was a goal scorer and he had it. Is just again he didn't have the longevity, and then he went to
well, it's the
PSG. He
Ronaldinho
left.
conversation, right? It's the Ronaldinho conversation. It's
No,
just Neymar didn't win a
Ronaldinho.
World Cup.
Yeah, no, Ronaldinho
But
was. I
if
think.
Neymar would have won a World Cup, what do you think the conversation would have been the same?
I just think what Ronaldinho brought to the table is what all these guys took. And again, Neymar,
That's fair.
they
That's
learned.
fair.
So I think, even though obviously, like, you have Pele, you have all these guys that you can talk about. I think Ronaldinho, changed the game so much. And to me, he is the greatest player of all time. I will pick him above Messi, above Pele, above
I mean,
Maradona,
I get that.
because
Yeah.
I know they're like, oh, well, he didn't do it long enough. I don't
I mean,
care. He
that
he changed,
I feel the
to
same way
me,
about
he
Ronaldo.
changed the game. Yeah, Ronaldo
Ronaldo.
Nazario. Yeah,
I mean, I don't Ronaldo. He's Ronaldo. Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
hate that conversation because one's Cristiano and the other one's Ronaldo. Like
yeah.
I know the new age. This is their Ronaldo, but that's the Ronaldo to me. And we have this conversation all the time. Like
Yeah.
my top five, like obviously stats play kind of a vital role. Who's your top five if you have to pick? And it's not to compare them to one another. Just
No, yeah.
in
I mean,
terms of
if
like
I just
the
my top
in
five,
top
yeah,
five. Yeah, what's your top five?
yeah. My top five: Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, Messi, Cristiano, and my fifth would have to be Zidane.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
It's
If I
hard.
just
I try
spitball,
to
just straight shot.
I try to think about. I try to look back a little bit, and I think I'm thinking about Ronaldo for me is number one. Brazil Ronaldo, Messi number two, Cristiano Ronaldo number three. That's my top three, and then I I put Neymar four, um, and then five is a hard one for me because I want to pick Rooney, right? Rooney, because you got
I
to think
mean,
about
it's your
winning.
favorite. It's your favorite. And so I
No,
mean,
I know. But think about winning, but then I also have to think about the rest of the world. And Zidane's a good shout, and I kind of have to look back too. And I gotta go Maradona after. Like
mhm.
I think that would be my top five. Like you have to.
So you don't rate Ronaldinho. You rate Neymar over Ronaldinho.
I I
Right? Like I said, again, to me,
you know why here's my why for that one. Neymar had to carry a bad Brazil, and he won shit for Brazil carrying Brazil because he played on the worst Brazils ever. His
yeah,
striker was freaking Fred. Like, come on, like imagine he had Ronaldo up top. Ronaldinho is amazing. I love Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho's right below what I just mentioned, but at the same time, he had Rivaldo. He played with Romario. He played with Adriano. Ronaldo. I don't think I said that already. Roberto Carlos, Cafu. Like we're talking about the best. That was the best national team ever. So that's the only like. And I know in Barca, Messi was young, whatever, but he also that team was incredible. Like how
Yeah, but
I
before
think
those guys got there, Ronaldinho was the one that revived Barca because they signed him, and on the night they signed him, they had to push the game back for him to play late, and he played and he scored a golazo just to win the game. So
I
that's what I mean. Like he
that
changed to
one's up
me.
in the
It's
air.
just yeah. To me,
He
he's just changed. He changed the game completely. There was players that naturally every player there's every generation has changed games, but the way he just played it so effortlessly and elegantly, and that joga bonito that when
I
anytime you
think
hear
that's the
anytime
hard
you
part. Yeah,
hear it, you think about him. Like anytime you
those
think of
commercials. Yeah.
yeah, that's you can't think of those commercials without Ronaldinho. Even though they had, you had Henri, you had the greats Edgar Davids, Pavel Nedved, all these guys that that were greats. But to me, without Ronaldinho, there's he's the one that changed.
No, no,
And
no. I
then
probably maybe if we have this
yeah, so
conversation another day, I switch him and
but
Ronaldinho. I mean, and
yeah,
Neymar.
but hey, like I mean, it's not to, but that's yeah. To me, that's my
I
number
mean,
one guy.
I don't
Because
think either's wrong, right? Like
no,
it's
yeah,
just
it's
I
a
think that's
preference.
it's the way I look at it. It's like
Yeah.
and that's the other thing why Rooney to me is tough because he's been amazing for United.
I love him.
But then for
Yeah.
England, he's been good, but he's never
No
helped
English
them.
player for
Yeah.
England
Well, yeah,
except
yeah, that's what I mean. In general, like it's hard. That conversation was really hard for me to watch because I love Rooney, and then for him to say that
yeah,
about
I don't
Neymar
agree
was a
with
little
what he
odd.
said.
That was really
Yeah,
strange. So,
I don't know. Yeah, Rooney likes to sometimes
well,
make it a
all
little
those guys in
more.
United apparently like
Well,
talk
yeah,
shit. It's just the
yeah,
new
yeah,
stage thing, but
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I love Rooney, and I rate him my favorite English striker all time, and even one of my definitely top three favorite strikers of all time, Ronaldo number one. Um, but he's definitely up there because of what he did
It was
and,
funny.
and
He
how
wasn't
he
even a
did.
striker. That's the other thing. Like, right? He has so many goals, and he's not even. It's crazy. Anyway,
Yeah,
we got off subject way too much. We
but
went way
yes,
over. But thank you guys. Please, in the comments, if you guys are watching, if you guys wind up coming across this, give us your top 5. Let us know what you think. Feel free to tell us what you think about ours. It's okay if you don't like it. I understand. We are a little long in the tooth. We're a little older, so we kind of did get to watch some of that. We got to watch Ronaldinho live, which was great. So thank you guys for listening in. If you're listening, happy USA Day tomorrow. Hopefully they can get a win over Belgium. We
yeah,
have
those qualifiers. Don't forget about those European
yes,
qualifiers because
we got
these
to go
ones
watch them
are
today as
important, man.
well. Yeah. So we're gonna go watch the rest of that. We'll kind of keep up for the next episode. We'll talk about all the international break games. But yes, thank you for listening. Have a great rest of your night, guys. Enjoy the football. It is an amazing experience. See you later, Will.
Yeah, see you. Have a good one, guys.